Just a quick update on the XK8. As you can see, it's got a repaired front wing and a bumper in at the time being. Slight gripe really. When I bought the car, before I bought it, I checked online to see if I could find a car being broken in the correct colour. And I found exactly the car I needed, correct year, correct colour, everything identical to this car. Contacted the seller, and they said fine, you can buy the parts. And of course, once I'd driven to the Midlands, about 2 hours to Coventry, turned out that they'd actually been listing that car for absolutely months and it had been long gone, and they'd fobbed me off with parts from a much earlier car in the wrong coloured silver. Very annoying that really, but I needed to be able to rebuild it, so I had to buy the parts really. You can see it's got the earlier nose cone on it with the fog lights further recessed into the bumper. Well, one lives and learns, but I'm going to be able to get hold of the correct coloured parts via contacts I made in the Jaguar forum. Two very pleasant chaps have broken a similar car to this one, and have got the parts I need, so that's great news. I have put new wheels on this car, so it's got 18-inch wheels now and new Pirelli P0 tyres all round, which is great news. Had a bit of a go at that back end. You can see it's not as bad as it was. It still needs professional repair, so that will be going in at some point and get that done. But I'm quite pleased with the panel fit at the front, considering it was reasonably badly stoved in at the very front of the wing. It's quite a good shut line along that bonnet. I'm quite pleased with that. Doesn't need much adjustment. Still have to sort out that bit, but that's okay. That's a job for another day. The fit along the bumper is really nice. It's slight something going on there. I think actually it's this bumper is pushed in too far there. You can just see it's slightly proud, but I'm not too bothered about that. Good headlight fit. It needs a small amount of adjustment, I think, to be absolutely perfect, but actually I'm quite pleased with it. Could perhaps come forward a tiny bit there, compared with the other side that was never broken. That's flush, and that fits nicely there, so a bit more to do. The bumper fit isn't too bad either across the front. Just need to move it up slightly in the middle. All the liners and everything are back in the wheel arches. Fits nicely, you can't really see because it's dark. And since we last had an update, I've been working on a replacement to the really knackered window seals. This is my second prototype, and it's not too bad. So it's a vinyl covered window seal from a Vauxhall that I got out of the scrapyard. It's not too bad. The seal almost matches the Jaguar line, and the beading isn't too bad. My next job, I think, is to remove the vinyl that I've covered this with. It's the wrong colour anyway, as you can see. I'm going to mask it and then paint it with the correct Dorchester grey, which is what Jaguar used. And that will hopefully then, if I can mask it with the same width as this on that beading, I think it will actually suit it quite nicely, and that might be a solution to the problem of these window seals. There's currently one brand new one on eBay at the moment at £500 just for that seal, so I shan't be buying that, even though they did offer me a £400 deal of the century. I think not. New wheels look nice, quite pleased with that. The car's coming together very well actually. Next thing I need to purchase is the replacement for these seals here. That's only 18 quid I think on eBay, and these come apart really easily. You just come off like that, so a new one will push back on again without any trouble. Put that back in a minute or two. Nothing's changed inside really. I've cleaned it a bit, and it doesn't smell of damp anymore. It smelled quite damp because I think it had been standing with the window open for some time prior to me picking it up, but that's all fine now. I've also bought a new headlining kit, so I shall be replacing this headlining cover. And the maths basically worked out that I could either buy a brand new headlining, complete, ready to go in, plus the cloth for these A-posts for £110 delivered, or if I phoned up Woolies Trim over in Market Deeping, I could get hold of enough cloth to do the headlining and the adhesive delivered for about £74, I think. Not a huge saving, but I'm actually quite happy to do the headlining myself. I quite enjoy doing headlinings. And it's a bit of a saving, sort of 40 quid-ish, so it's not to be sneezed at. And I can make sure it's done to my liking. And it uses the original biscuit underneath it as well, so that's great. And to do that, I'm going to have to take the seats out. I might even take the door off, actually, to get access, to get the old lining out, which will give me a chance to condition the leather, and also get a carpet cleaner and clean the mats inside, or the carpets, should I say. The actual condition of the carpets is very, very good. It's had these overmats on, I think, all its life. So that's pretty much as new under there, which is lovely to see. And I think that's about it, really. I can show you the first prototype window seal. This was what I tried first of all. This is also from a Vauxhall. Not too bad. It's just a shame it's not quite the right profile, because actually this silver bit, if I could vinyl cover that, it would actually be about the right size, similar to the Jaguar original beading. But it doesn't quite line up and doesn't look quite right. So I think that one's a prototype only and no good. So there we go. That is up to date with the XK8. The reason I had to put it all back together again is I had a rather unfortunate prang with my other half's car. As you can see. So the least said about that the better, I think. But rather than having one car to replace panels on and rebuild, I now have two, which is great. I can't get hold of a replacement wheel for love nor money at the moment. I managed to put a nasty crack in that alloy, which is a real shame. But there you go, you live and learn. Thankfully the parts that are broken, the sill is not a metal part, that's just a plastic cover that I've managed to mangle. And the front wing, they're reasonably easy to get hold of. This car has the most terrible blind spot, which I knew about, so there's no excuse really, but it's just unbelievable that the thing that I hit, I didn't even see it at the time after I hit it. I was completely at a loss as to why my car suddenly stopped and would go no further with a loud bang. Unbelievable. It's a combination of this black plastic, I think, and this area here, and quite a big A post. It's amazing what difference that makes. It's caught me out a few times, but unfortunately this time rather more seriously with big consequences. So whilst this is off the road and I'm repairing this, the XK will be my daily driver, and my other half will have to make do with that beautiful Rover. Lucky lady. Right, well that's it for now. I shall update again when I've got the correct colour panels on this XK. Perhaps I've done the headlining as well. And then once all that's done, it's really just a case of getting it off to the body shop to get the little bits of sill corrosion sorted, and that big dent on the near side rear, and she'll be done. I'll speak to you soon.